Sure.
Hello there.
Hello, I'm Steve. I am owner of HOPENETE.
The owner of HOPENETE. Steve, that's your name?
That's my name.
Steve, tell me, on what day were you born?
6/17/54.
54, night or day?
It was dark, all I remember.
I like you already, Steve. It was dark. Do you know who named you? Do you know who named you? Did your mother or father?
My mother picked the name.
Your mother picked the name?
And then she picked my brother's name, Dave, my other brother named Doug. And then an aunt told her 5 years later, well, wasn't it nice of you to name your sons after your father's dead brothers?
Is that true?
And she never knew that he had 3 stillborn brothers that were named Steve, Dave, and Doug. And he never told her. It creeped her right out.
Are you really? That's true, huh?
That's true.
Wow. Do you remember writing your name? Learning to write your name?
Oh, no.
You don't? I don't remember. She did.
I'm pretty sure it was back around 5 or 6, but I don't really remember. I remember, learning the alphabets and, wiring around your pocket and pulling out. It's a red R.
Ah, the card. Okay. What was it like? What was it like your early years? Can you remember your early years? Playful?
It was like in the north. And,
North? What is north?
Boston, past Boston. It was nice, pleasant, snowy winters, and crisp falls, mosquito-filled summers, mud for springs.
Were you fortunate enough to bypass some of the early childhood traumas, situation that most people, a lot of people go through? Did you have did anything unusual happen? Family member passed away?
Just the usual dysfunctional family.
Okay. That everyone had.
Everyone had,
You remember
was
attending
really,
school?
much different than one of my friends and neighbors was.
You remember beginning of school, attending school, kindergarten, or?
I can remember, going to school in my first and second grade, and a brand new school that just opened and being the first year there.
How did it feel? You remember how it felt?
Scary. I didn't know everybody. It was large. There was a lot of people, and Mommy wasn't there.
Mommy wasn't there?
Yeah, I was in first grade. You're all alone. You got a teacher you're not pretty sure that doesn't like you.
Okay. So, but once you got there, how was it?
Not much fun.
Nope. Did you get picked on or something, or teased, or what?
No, not really. I just remember being glad to get home and get out of there. I didn't enjoy it much at all.
What was home learning like?
So far long ago, I just remember feeling like uncomfortableness when you think back on first and second grade. I try not to think of why. Hell, that was 50 years ago.
What about, we'll say, describe from up to the 10th grade, from 1st to 10th.
Did I get that far?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, well, first grade was done in Bangor, where I went right from kindergarten with the same group of kids to the first grade. That was 8 more grades in that school with us, so we were the smallest.
Okay.
And then we moved into Herman in second grade, where I stayed with the same group of kids until 12th grade. Getting up through 6th grade and getting into the chess clubs and winning the science fair, and then going into 9th grade for high school, and there getting on the gymnastics team and going to the state of Maine on the high bar.
Whoa, wait a minute. You was on the chess club. You won a science award, and you was a gymnastic? I mean,
yeah.
Normally you don't see that type of switch over in the athletic field from an individual who's very gifted in their minds. Where we would
Well,
say.
I was always tall, and they wanted me to play basketball, but I didn't much care for the jocks. And it was the same set of jocks on the football and on the soccer team. But in gymnastics, I was on my own, and I didn't have to be part of their clique team because I never agreed with their politics of picking only them and never giving a break to So I always stuck up for the individual in the school. And, would drive the jocks off if they were picking somebody else out. And I was basically more of a loner. So I went with chess. It really wasn't a team sport. In gymnastics, I really wasn't a team sport. And I went out for track where I could just run and just leave them behind, and it really wasn't a team sport.
Yeah, I know.
So, because every time I got on the teams, it was self-serving jocks, is the nearest way I can describe them. I just didn't care for their mentality.
You know, you somewhat fit the profile of two different. You sort of fit the profile of nerd, a nerd, and you fit the profile of an active, a popular person in school, in high school during this period of time. Were you a nerd? I mean, to a degree, you seem to be very intelligent. So I
always took a college course and always got into science and math, and was I guess you could say I was nerdy in school.
Well, how did that come about at the household? How did that? I mean, from what I have seen, even myself, if you don't have a supportive academic household upbringing, chances are your academic and will come later on in life, not during school. But for you, you have the academic knowledge going through school. Was the household supportive? Was the household that make you learn, or what?
My father was from North Carolina, and always a very modest working man. And my mother, her parents were billionaires and lost everything in the Depression. They had over 100 ocean-going ships that went back and forth from Europe, 11 sardine canneries.
What was the name?
So it went from two different extremes. Of my father working as a carpenter all his life, and my mother who had been a billionaire all their lives. And so my mother's side pushed really hard for trumpet lessons and education, and encyclopedias, and so I'd end up reading encyclopedias. I wouldn't read westerns, novels, or if it wasn't nonfiction, I didn't bother waste my time on it.
That's good. That's good. Ooh. So did that bring did that help form your somewhat outlook as far as people's taking advantage of others? Like you spoke of the jocks one,
Well, being a nerd, I had the jocks kind of like pick on you all the time, but the only problem was I was better than most of them. They couldn't keep up with me in track. They couldn't keep up with me in hoops. Just about nearly everything. It's like I held the school records for push-ups, for sit-ups. So I didn't feel intimidated by them, but they didn't like me because I wouldn't play with them, and I was better than them.
Bionic person.
So I would go around and mess up all their plans when they were, try to make themselves feel even bigger and better by picking on somebody smaller and younger. So I would join on their team and crush them. And that would always, piss them off.
So you was very popular on both sides, really. I mean,
I was not popular with the jocks at all because
I'm talking about outside.
I crushed them and showed them up all the time.
But the females, I mean, you had your popularity.
No, it was a very small school, and the 12 cheerleadings went with the 12 jocks.
Had you had a girlfriend, or were you even thinking about girls?
Oh, hell yeah.
Had a girlfriend in both?
Yes.
Who's
I had a
first
girlfriend, I went through from 9th grade to 12th grade. And in the 10th grade, she had her spine operated on. She went to the hospital at 5'2", and an hour later she was 5'4". They put a complete body cast on her from the top of her head down here, there went to there. She had to stay in traction for 9 months.
You too as well.
And then they put her in a full body cast for 3 months. Her first day back to school, those jocks on the varsity team walked around behind her for the entire day and called her Penguin, because that's the way she had to walk. That's why I didn't want to play with the jocks. They have no mentality.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
But I took care of her for the next 2 years until she got her body cast off and was able to walk.
Would it be inappropriate of me to ask you her name?
Margie Wing.
Margie Wing. Well, with that, we're going to stop right here, and this is the first half of Steve of HOPENETE, folks, and more to come. Talk to you later, Steve.